Japan's evolving security posture, counter-strike capabilities, and strategic independence. It's Hef, keeping you up to date with geopolitics. Let's get it. Japan stands as a critical crossroads in its defense strategy, gradually shifting from its traditional post-war pacifist stance toward a more proactive security posture. This evolution reflects growing concerns about regional threats and a desire for greater strategic autonomy. Autonomy is just a fancy word for self-governing. As Tokyo considers deploying long-range missiles on Kyushu by early 2026, we witness a significant milestone in Japan's journey towards security independence. Now, my presentation is going to examine the factors driving this transformation and its implementations and potential implications for regional stability in the U.S.-Japan alliance. Bottom, yours truly, have the philosopher. You know it. Historical context: U.S.-Japan Security Treaty. It signed a treaty in 1960, establishing cornerstone of post-World War II Japan's defense policy. U.S. Security Guarantee. America committed to defending Japan from external threats. So external threats such as China, Russia, things of that nature, India, so just external threats altogether. Alliance evolution, partnership adapted through Cold War and post-Cold War periods. So Cold War is just a fancy word for we just talking a lot of shit, but we're not, unaliving one another. That's all that is. Let's move on. For over 6 decades, the U.S.-Japan Security Treaty has formed the foundation of Japan's defense strategy. This arrangement granted Japan protection under the American security umbrella while allowing it to maintain minimal defense capabilities aligned with its pacifist constitution. The treaty created a symbiotic relationship. America gained a strategic foothold in East Asia, while Japan could focus on economic development without substantial military expenditures. This dependency on American deterrence capabilities has defined Japan's security policies for generations. So if y'all not aware, Japan went through a reconstruction period, and they had probably the fastest build on that, the fastest reconstruction period like ever. Shifting regional dynamics, direct security threats, North Korea, nuclear weapons, and ballistic missiles. Regional power competition, China's military modernization and territorial assertions. Shifting strategic landscape, changing alliance dynamics and power distribution. So, yes. So, it's about to get real. Anytime you talk about China, we know what's the most important body of water in the world, and that's the South China Sea. No doubt about it. In December 2022, Japan unveiled a transformative national security strategy that marked a decisive break from its post-war defense constraints. This document explicitly acknowledged the need for the counter-strike capabilities that would enable Japan to neutralize threats at their source rather than relying solely on defense measures. This strategic shift represents the most significant reorientation of Japan's defense policies in generations. By emphasizing deterrence through the threat of retaliation, Japan aims to establish a more credible and independent security posture while maintaining its alliance with the USA. Proposed missile deployment on Kyushu. Yeah, y'all see the numbers, man. Nothing to play with. Japan recorded plans to deploy long-range missiles on Kyushu by early 2026, represent a concrete implementation of its new strategic vision. This southwestern island's position facing both the East China Sea and Korea Peninsula make it an ideal location for counter-strike capabilities directed at potential regional threats. Technical advancement in Japan's defense. We got Type 12 missile upgrades extending range from 2,000 kilometers to 1,000 to 1,200 kilometers through propulsion and guidance improvements. Land-based launchers being adapted for ship and aircraft deployment. Hypersonic weapons, development of hypersonic cruise missiles, HCMS, and hyper velocity, y'all know baseball, hyper velocity gliding projectiles, HGPs, for the penetrating advanced air defenses with speed exceeding Mach 5. Foreign acquisitions, procurement of 400 plus Tomahawk cruise missiles from the U.S. to provide immediate long-range strike capability while domestic systems mature. I got the hiccups, god damn it. Strategic implications, enhanced deterrence, creates credible threat against potential aggressors. Regional balancing counters China's military advantages. Strategic autonomy reduces dependency on U.S. for immediate defense, which you can't blame them. You don't want to. That's like me having a bodyguard, and okay, let's say I don't know how to defend myself whatsoever, and I have a bodyguard for the most part. Well, what happens when somebody beat up on your bodyguard? What happens when your bodyguard take a beating? Well, you're gonna have to stand up and stick up for yourself. So that's their approach. Alliance evolution transformed Japan's role within security partnership. The development of counter-strike capabilities fundamentally altered Japan's strategic position in East Asia by acquiring the ability to target enemy assets on mainland China and North Korea. Japan establishes a more credible deterrent against potential aggression and reduces the immediate dependence on U.S. intervention in a crisis scenario. This evolution toward a more balanced alliance relationship allows Japan to assume greater responsibility for its own defense while potentially freeing U.S. resources for other contingencies. The ability to contribute offensive capabilities also enhances Japan's value as a strategic partner, strengthens its diplomatic leverage and regional security discussion. So, them being able to do that will make the U.S. look like, okay, we sided with the right people. We sided with the right guys. Now it's another side of that where they're like, okay, now are they gearing up to do us in? Nah, not exactly. Challenges and concern, constitutional constraints, navigating Article 9's prohibition on war potential and interpreting exclusive defense-oriented policy requires careful legal justification, may face domestic political opposition, escalation risk, potential to accelerate regional arms competition and security dilemma, could prompt counter responses from China and North Korea, may lower threshold for conflict, operational integration, coordinating Japan capabilities with U.S. military strategy, command and control questions, intelligence sharing requirements. Japan's security evolution faced significant hurdles, with constitutional constraints being the most visible. Article 9 of Japan's constitution, which renounces war and the maintenance of war potential, requires creative interpretation to accommodate counter-strike capabilities. The government justified these capabilities as falling within the scope of self-defense, but opposition remains. There are also concerns about regional stability, as Japan's new capability could accelerate an arms race with China and North Korea. Operationally, questions persist about how Japanese counter-strike capabilities would be integrated with U.S. forces, including who have main decision-making authority in crisis scenarios and how intelligence would be shared for targeting. International reactions and partnership. The United States, strong support for Japan's defense modernization and enhancing alliance burden sharing, provides technical assistance and sells advanced weapon systems, views Japanese capability as complementary to America's deterrence posture. South Korea, cautious engagement with potential for greater trilateral cooperation against North Korean threats. Historical tensions persist, but strategic imperatives drive coordination. So strategic importance. Imperative is just another word for importance. Recent diplomatic warming creates opening for defense collaboration. China, strong opposition, viewing Japan's military evolution as destabilizing the potential targeting Chinese territory, accused Japan of abandoning post-war pacifism and returning to militarism, may accelerate own military deployments in response. Japan's path to strategic independence, intelligence enhancement, defense industrial base, strategic decision making. Japan's missile deployment on Kyushu represents more than just a tactical adjustment. It signifies a strategic reorientation decades in the making. The gradual shift towards a more autonomous defense posture reflects Japan's adaptation to a changing regional security environment while maintaining its crucial allies with the United States. Yes, it's half free game.